Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Yes, indeed, guns. Roses there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show. Just to let you know, fellas, my wife... Oh, right, we're not doing that anymore, eh?
Yeah.
My
wife!
She's still flat out on the couch there.
What do you mean?
What happened?
She's been in bed for 2 days since we got back from Vietnam.
Flat
lazy.
out on the couch sounds like she's really busy on the couch.
No,
been flat out.
She's just... And
Like-
I mean, I've talked about her before. She's a backbone. She's hardcore.
Can I just say
so
this?
for her to be flat in her back for 2 days...
Conflicting messages on getting here. You said she's flat out on the couch, and you said she hasn't gotten out of bed. Well, which is it?
She's managed to get from bed to couch.
Right, and she's sick.
Yeah, because we got sick. Did I tell you about how I nearly shat myself in China? Imagine, if you will, it's 3 a.m. and
3 a.m. I must be lonely.
Hoyte Jay's in a little Airbnb in Vietnam, in the heart of Hanoi. I wake up at 3 a.m. with a pounding headache, feels. Pounding headache.
You been drinking your water, man?
Well, I'm going to get, because this is terrible. A pounding headache because I had a head cold, but also I'd caught the bug that my daughter had hours earlier and I'd been spewing. So I had a pounding headache. My shirt was absolutely drenched in sweat. And because my sinuses were all stuffed up, I had the most terrible dry horrors you'll ever imagine. And then I realised that we bought no bottled water the night before, so there was nothing to drink. 3 a.m, Hoyte J goes down to the toilet, does a power vomit. Anyway, that was the morning for me. I then got on the plane, and we flew to China for our first stop. Now, about half an hour before we arrived in China, there was some serious movement in my bowels.
No. Turbulence.
Like massive bubbles of air.
Oh.
And I really needed to let my ass rip.
Rip ass.
Rip ass.
Wow.
But I didn't have any confidence to do that. And I thought, I better go to the toilet. But unfortunately, on the plane, there was like 10 people waiting for the toilet. And then we landed. And I couldn't use the toilet. So Hoyte J was walking in the corridor of the plane just getting stabbing pains with massive bubbles of toxic Vietnamese gas in my stomach.
Way to paint a picture, man. That's great.
It's a true story, man. And I'm getting this real shifting, man. And literally, I felt like I was sitting on balloons of air and it was stabbing me in the stomach. Anyway, I got out of the plane and we got into the transfer zone to transfer flight, Smokey.
Oh, yeah, the
And I
transfer
thought,
zone.
thank God.
Is that what they do there?
But I desperately needed to pass wind, but I couldn't because I was terrified I was going to shit myself. But I comforted myself with the fact that I was off the plane now, and surely within a matter of seconds I'd stagger upon the toilet from which I could rip ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this was the longest corridor in the history of mankind. I'm not joking. It went for like 2 kilometres,
Wow.
Mogi. And my bowel and my ear and my bowels were so bad, and I was in so much pain that I was literally tiptoeing on the ground. And then I eventually found a toilet and ripped ass like never before.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
And I needn't have worried because then there was solid poos after that.
Oh, that's
So I could have ripped ass any time.
such a great story, Jase. Thanks for that.
Man,
That's good, man. Travelling, eh?
it's good eating.
What,
It's a learning experience. It was a learning experience, fellas.
I've got a story about that's not, well, it's actually quite dissimilar to that, but it was also poo related and it was also in China. Maybe I'll tell that one tomorrow, fellas. Tune in next time. Can you make a sting for that pug, son?
Maybe chat or something like that.
No, we're not doing chat. Hey,
My God, she was grim. Yes,
tell you what
Keyzie.
we are doing after 6, man.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of jet there on the radio. Hauraki Hauraki Big Show. Now, fellas, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday with regards to my trip to Vietnam. Did I talk to you about the pharmacies over there?
No.
What a revelation
Wow.
this is. And because, actually, could you get on Google, Keyzie?
You want me to do that? You don't just want to do it?
No, well, I just can't seem to access Google from my computer at the moment. The bloody thing's playing up on me.
All right, what do you want me to Google?
Just the policy of pharmacies and what the sort of law is over in Vietnam, prescriptions and stuff like that. Because let me tell you a little story.
Okay.
My wife and I, we were walking around, and my wife said to me at one point, we need to get more paracetamol. And I said to her, well, actually, I don't know if you noticed, darling, but there's pharmacies everywhere. Now, when I say...
What'd she say?
She said, no, I actually haven't really noticed it.
And then what did you say?
I said, well, seriously, they're everywhere. In fact, when we were having that conversation, I said, look, there's one straight across the road here. But when I'm talking about pharmacies, fellas,
Yeah.
I'm not talking your massive kind of pharmacies that you have over here in New Zealand. They're more kind of hole-in-the-wall type scenarios. Right, and so we went over to this pharmacy and we said, can we get some, do you have paracetamol? And they said, yeah, we've got paracetamol. And she brought out this huge box of paracetamol. And we said, well, we don't want all of that. And she said, that's fine. How many sheets do you want? And we went, I don't know, 5 sheets.
Right.
So we bought 5
Wow.
sheets of paracetamol. And we went, that was bloody easy. And then my daughter was telling me that she found out you can score anything you want from these pharmacies. I'm talking, what's the pain?
Tramadol.
Tramadols.
Yeah.
What's the beta blocker that you get there? Not dopamine. But seriously, anything that you want, you can basically go up to these pharmacies and actually say, can I get some of this? And they just give it to you. Now, I don't know what the law is there.
Right.
But it feels like you don't need a prescription.
Okay, so just doing some research here. Apparently, one of the things in Vietnam is their cultural beliefs that anyone should have access to any form of medication freely.
There you go.
Maybe they don't have a culture of abuse over there yet.
Right.
Like Western
Well, they do
countries
because
have.
they've got the heroin over there.
Oh, yeah. But
They
that's,
love the heroin.
But that's fine. If everyone's on the heroin,
It's all good.
it's
Just on that, by the way, just walking along the street, a dude came up to me in a scooter with a big smile on his face and went, sir, and then he opened his palm, 2 little baggies of heroin.
How
So
good?
I kid you not.
Is that right?
I kid you
and
not.
how was it?
It was pretty muddy.
Right.
I think it's what gave me my gastro, to be honest. Wasn't the cleanest shit.
they are way less strict in terms of regulations over
Yes.
there. So it's very easy. Profits, apparently. Profit motive. Pharmacies are privately owned. Selling prescription medication without a doctor's note increases sales. So they'll just sell it to you.
Yeah, well, that was the vibe we got because my daughter's not a good flyer, and so she got all these beta blockers, which you have to get a prescription for normally because they're highly addictive. And they said the same thing to her. How many sheets do you want? She said 4.
Right, and they just
You're
gave it to them
joking.
straight away.
Gave it to her straight away. No worries.
The other one here, it says
Wow.
foreign demand. Many tourists and expatriates take advantage of the ease of getting medications that might require a prescription in their home countries. So foreigners, you, Jase, Johnny Foreigner over there.
Yes.
Because you guys find it so amazing and just buy up so much of the stuff, they just sell it to you.
Well, think about this, fellas. If I went and lived over there by myself, say everything turned to custard, I sold up everything, cheap beersies, cheap ciggies, and cheap pharmaceutical goods that I can get at any time.
Not to mention some fella handing you bags of heroin.
and a dude on a scooter giving me bags of heroin. How long would you give me?
Hopefully until I get my first holidays.
Hey, Black Crows?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Nirvana there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Thursday afternoon. Now, if you missed the big announcement, the big show going back to the Magic Round in sunny Brisbane, 2nd of May to the 4th of May, fellas.
That's right. There's 8 games of rugby league across 3 days. The Warriors are included in that. It's going to be absolutely massive, the same as it was last year.
Certainly was. Boystrip.co.nz. They're putting it all together.
Boys trip.
Boys Trip, BOY. If you want to guarantee your spot on this awesome trip, there are a few spots left. Go to boystrip.co.nz. Otherwise, starting Monday, listen out for the cue to call on Hauraki. When you hear it, give us a call, 0800 Hauraki. It is 3 days, 8 games on the Friday night. The Wars are playing, I believe. No, not the Friday. Sorry, that's incorrect. Saturday, Super Saturday, 3 games back to back. Waz are taking on the Cowboys,
Yeehaw.
who are terrible this
Yeah,
season.
that's
Yeah,
good.
so
eh?
that should be good.
That should be a hell of a weekend, and spending time at Suncorp Stadium and on Caxton Street, one of the best weekends I've ever had.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
David Bowie there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show. Let's get some Big Show advice, shall we?
69
at gmail.com. Get in touch with the fellas.
That's right, meetpattynips69 at gmail.com. It is an email address you can send any questions to if you need advice. And we will address it here on the Big Show. It's 100% anonymous, unless you put at the start of the email, hey guys, I don't want this to be anonymous.
Yeah.
Okay?
Cool, man.
Okay, man.
Meetpattynips69 at gmail.com. Here we go. This is from Anonymous. G'day, fellas.
Oh.
My wife and I
No.
are wondering if we should go for a week-long holiday to the Hawke's Bay. Only thing is, we have a 12-week-old baby. Do you think it's worth taking a week off, or should I wait 5 years for the baby be old enough till we go away?
It's tricky.
Really tricky, that one, actually.
Is it?
It's a good question.
Okay.
It depends how far away you are and how you're going to get to the place that you're going.
Indeed. Matters a lot.
If you're going to go on a plane, you need to be considerate of everybody else and recognise that the kid is probably going to do a lot of crying. Terrible on the ears.
Yes.
The pressure is painful
And
for
they
a
can't
baby.
pop them,
Yes,
right?
They
Yeah.
can't do
No.
anything about it. They don't know what's going on.
Well,
The
especially if
pacifier
they're-
they think might help, but it's very difficult.
Yes.
And worse than that, it sucks for everyone else having to listen to the crying. So I would say don't go.
Yes.
In that instance.
But what if they have to drive? Let's say they're in Auckland and it's like a 7-hour drive to Hawke's Bay or something
Don't
like
do
that. How far would you drive with a 12-week-old?
Actually, I drove from Wellington to Waiheke Island with a 6-week-old,
That's massive.
but it took 3 or 4 days. We had to break it up because she just kept on crying. They keep on crying, and a crying kid in a cooped up space like that, it's not enjoyable. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I used to have to go and get my little one, my eldest, who lived right up north initially. And so I used to
Right.
have to
in
do
the Cape Reinga.
yeah,
in the
like
lighthouse.
right up north. And
She a lighthouse keeper.
which was fine. She was a bit of a spewer.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
And the reality is too is that kids don't know at that age. They wouldn't have a clue. It is stressful, and having just travelled, fellas.
Yeah.
My wife and I noticed a few people that were taking young ones with them around the place, and having there was the crying, the yelling, the tanties, and it was like, my God.
Well, is there... Because
My God.
as someone
That's right.
in their early 30s, right, who could be coming into, in the
Prime
future...
baby making time.
Oh, yeah.
Now's the time, Keyzie.
Way you go, Keyzie. Fill
Go
your
on,
boots.
son.
Come on, mate. You can
You're
do
the man,
this.
Keyzie.
Thanks, fellas.
On all fours.
On
all
all
fours.
fours. Oh. No, it's but there are people that go, oh, I'm not going to change my lifestyle too much.
Yeah,
My
okay.
kid's going to be a travel kid.
Yeah.
We're going to travel. We're going to make it work.
Yep.
Is there a reality of that happening at all?
I know people that have done that travelled around London on the tube with 3 kids under the age of 5 while they did comedy gigs.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Unbelievable, they did it. And what an
Yes.
incredible thing they've done. I couldn't do it at my age. Now, at a younger age, maybe.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah, we did a little bit of ticky touring around with the girls.
Tickery toury.
But you got
Jace
to remember,
used to move out in the middle of the night because they'd owe rent and stuff, so they'd sort of sneak away under the covers.
so we got quite good at it.
And they'd say ticky touring to the girls, so they wouldn't
Yeah,
know.
a ticky tour,
And,
yeah.
and you got to remember, I had like 8 kids.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
so what's the advice here? Wait till they're 5?
If you're
Wait until they're 20.
if you're
20, yeah.
confident, fill your boots.
So wait 20 years and then go to Hawke's Bay.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike, and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.